It's the radio guy, Mike Prince. Welcome to another episode of The Mike Prince Show. Our daily mission is to bring you news that you could use. Our social media handles for Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter are all at The Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is Open Mic Broadcast Network. Our website is obnradio.com. And the 24-hour dial-in message line, 713-570-6736. And without any further delay, we're going to jump right into today's episode. We got a real good one for you on this evening. We are going to hear from athletic director of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. That is none other than Dr. Donald Reed. And we all know that the NFL is scheduled to kick off on next weekend. And we are going to hear from NFL wide receiver, former Prairie View A&M University standout, Khadarel Hodge. Hope that everyone is off and well today. Some of you are still focusing in that football is not quite the same, but there are some attempts to get football off the ground. Been asking you guys, what do you think? Had you even taken any interest in the games? Some have not. But nonetheless, everyone is going to continue to try to move forward to work out the best that they can. Meanwhile, of course, the news of the week, there was the termination of services for John Hendrick, head football coach, or should we say former head football coach of Jackson State. The buzz has been that Deion Sanders is one of the top candidates to fill that void. Some of you are excited about the potentials of Sanders coming to be head coach at Jackson. Some of you are not as enthused. It's been about a 50-50 split. Some I understand, some I don't understand, but it is what it is. Meanwhile, with the move that was made on that, could there have been some potential reading of the tea leaves with the move made by athletic director Ashley Robertson to make that move with the quote-unquote projected spring season? Could that move mean that there really won't be a spring season? Yet to be determined. Also, Alcorn coming over to the West. And a lot of people looking at that move as a move of, oh, wow, imbalance, unbalance. And we looked at it from a football major perspective. But overall, we'll see. We said logically, the distance, Alcorn was the obvious choice. But for that competitive edge, yet to be determined. We got a whole lot to get wrapped up and talked up with our guest, Dr. Donald Reed, who's scheduled to be our first guest, and then, of course, Khadarel Hodge. What we're going to do is we're going to take us a break, and when we come back, we'll be ready to rock and roll with another episode of the Mike Prince Show live right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Keep it where you got it, and we will be right back. Attention all coaches. Whatever your sport is, we want to tell your story. Dial our 24 hours, 7 days a week message line at 713-570-6736. Leave your game results, team results, and player results on our 24-hour message line, 713-570-6736. Have sports, we'll travel. The Open Mic Broadcast Network, serving the community through faith and athletics, the voice of student athletics. Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union has 13 different locations to better serve you. Locations in Rosenberg, Missouri City, Katy, College Station, Bryan, Brenham, and Waller, Texas. For more information, you can contact them on their toll-free number, 855-391-2149. Or you can send an email to information@bvscu.org.
Hello, this is Alonzo Hardy Jr., the president of the SWAC Alumni Association. The SWAC Alumni Association is an organization founded on December 10, 1999, at the Sheraton Hotel in Birmingham, Alabama. Its mission is to serve as a rallying ground for individuals who have made the Southwestern Athletic Conference the illustrious conference that it is today. Its membership is open to former student athletes who played in the conference in any sport, as well as to coaches, athletic administrators, staff members, game officials, and fans. Annually, the association holds a Legends Awards and Roast Banquet or luncheon where it honors individuals with Lifetime Achievement Awards, a Chuck Prophet Wagon Master Award, and occasionally a Distinguished Service Award. Proceeds from that event help to finance degree completion scholarships for student athletes who have exhausted their playing eligibility at SWAC universities, but who may still need an extra semester or two to complete their college studies. For more information on the SWAC Alumni Association or to get information on becoming a member, you can send correspondence to SWAC Alumni Association, 875 Miller Creek Lane, Newport News, Virginia, 23602. The email address is swakalumniassociation@yahoo.com.
And welcome back to the Mike Prince Show live right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We now go over to the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline. We have who has been a busy Panther for the past few weeks, none other than Athletic Director of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers, Dr. Donald Reed. Hello, sir. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate being on your show. Looking forward to our nice conversation this evening. Hope Panther Nation is doing well and staying safe.
Yes, sir. Well, we're all trying, as they say, stay safe, stay out of Corona's way. She keep asking us to dance, and I keep refusing, telling her it's not my song.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, we have, as they say, been in the belt now almost 60 days, right?
Yes, sir. Creeping up on it as we speak. Started July the 15th. So been here and getting continuing to get settled and get acclimated to the processes and getting to know staff, coaches, and student athletes. And it's been a great time for me and my family.
Okay, very good. And I was going to ask, I hope that the family are all secure by now and making the adjust, or some of them for the first time being this long a time in Texas, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The two older kids of ours in college right now, and then we have our youngest as well as the wife have arrived, and we're getting ready to start school here on Tuesday with the youngest.
Very, very good. So everybody's getting transitioned well. And speaking of the the transitional period, when you come in, and we know, and for me at least, no job is quote unquote the perfect scenario, meaning that there are no challenges that you would come and have to deal with. And obviously positions become open because of challenges that already exist. With that being said, you walk into the situation with your eyes wide open. Was it what you imagined, or was it somewhat a little bit more challenging, or had it been less challenging than what you thought being in the driver's seat for the first 60 days or so?
I would say to your last part of your question, it was what I expected, that there would be challenges and a learning curve, of course, getting acclimated to the campus, the staff, as well as the standard operating procedures. Each university has its nuances, and things have been going very well with regard to that. And with President Simmons' support, as well as the president's cabinet and those vice presidents in their areas have been very supportive and helped ease my transition, which is very much appreciated. Also, getting a good understanding of where we are from a standard operating procedure standpoint and from the business aspect, the student-athlete experience aspect, as well as the academic component. All of those things have been going on as far as getting me up to speed on what's transpired and then beginning to implement some of the strategies that we want to move forward with in order to provide a great experience for our student athletes as well as our staff and coaches.
We're talking live right now with Dr. Donald Reed, Athletic Director for the Prairie View A&M University Panthers, have taken over the leadership role on the campus of Prairie View July 15th. And as he's creeping toward day 60, what immediate area do you focus in on right now that you got a full grip of where you need to go and how you need to get there?
I would start off with the health and safety of our student athletes. That's first on my list at all times. As you stated earlier, we're dealing with coronavirus and making sure that our students and specifically our student athletes in this particular conversation are safe and providing them with a safe environment. One of the things that we've recently done is put together an instructional video of which for students, staff, coaches, and others to how to get in and out of our building, our facility safely, what our testing protocol is with regard to coronavirus, as well as how we continue to be vigilant with our ongoing testing and our practicing of good hygiene, washing your hands, our practice of making sure that we mask up daily, whether we're in the building or on campus. We want to make sure we keep our mask on and be vigilant with regard to how we conduct ourselves in public such that we won't spread the disease that is going on right now in our country. So that's first and foremost. Secondly is making sure that our students get off to a great start academically. So our academic staff, led by Norleski Wyrick and his group, have done a great job getting our students acclimated and reacclimated to being on campus first, and then being nimble enough to prepare them for the virtual learning environment, as well as any other environments that they would come in contact with, whether it being in a virtual setting or physically being on campus, utilizing the library and all the other resources available to them as students. So all of those things are primary in my mind and what we focus on a day-to-day basis. Again, and then with regard to the athletics component, we're in the process of beginning our evaluation, our health evaluations, i.e. physical examinations and other things, to make sure that when we are able to return to athletic-related activities, student athletes will be healthy and prepared to make that transition.
Very good. Once again, we're talking right now with Dr. Donald Reed, Athletic Director for the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. And I'm glad that you finished up with that, the health issue part for the student athletes at Prairie View. Recent articles have indicated that there were 5 universities in the state of Texas that had the most, alarming rate of COVID virus detection. Not that everyone was in dire situation, but the top 5 universities were Baylor, not in this necessary order, but Baylor, University of Texas, Texas A&M, Sam Houston State, and Prairie View A&M University. Do you hold that to be any truth? And if so, how many students were involved as far as Prairie View is concerned with being, that you know of, affected by the virus, and then how many of that falls over to the student athletes?
First, I would say I don't have specific numbers of which to share. And one of the things that we want to make sure of is that we protect the privacy of our students as well, from a HIPAA standpoint. So we don't want to run afoul there. I will say that we're very vigilant with regard to how we monitor the testing and the protocol and what the results of the test are. Those who end up with any positive test or any type of contact with someone who was positive, we take the appropriate measures as all the universities, and specifically our university, have in place by quarantining as well as isolating those folks to mitigate and limit the spread of the virus. So those are the things that we do on a daily basis as far as monitoring those situations and making sure that we're putting our best foot forward in those areas. We work very closely with university health services and are in alignment and lockstep with their protocol and their procedures.
Very good. Now, help me get some clarity, Doc. Is isolation and quarantine, would they really be the same thing, or are there two different approaches when you talk about that?
Two different approaches with regard to the location and what that means. Isolation means you're by yourself in a space and you are not circulating in other areas. And then you have the quarantine piece would be similar but not necessarily the same with regard to what types of services or what types of interactions you would have with medical staff. So one has to do with being in close proximity to someone that has contracted the virus. And then the other is you would actually have tested positive. So there are different protocols for those groups. Okay. For example, if you, Mr. Prince, you went to the mall one day and you ran into a friend of yours and they tested your friend and yourself, your friend tests positive, you test negative. However, because you were in close contact or proximity with this person, you would be put into isolation.
Okay.
Okay. And that other person would be put in what's considered quarantine.
Got you. Okay, so the quarantine would be the one who's actually contracted it, and isolation is one being monitored.
That is my understanding.
Okay, very good. Once again, we're talking with Athletic Director Dr. Donald Reed of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers, and I know that with the HIPAA law, we don't want any names. Do you have a number of the kids that are being protected right now?
Well, we're protecting all of them as best we can through our protocols, but no specific numbers to share.
Okay, very good. And staff is pretty safe too.
Yes. We test our staff. We tested them recently, and then we go through symptoms checks every day we go in the building. Everybody goes in the building has to go through a system check and protocol. In order to ensure that we're in good health and able to be in the building.
Okay, very good. Now, I know it's been a challenge and a nightmare and a roller coaster ride since you've taken over, and you weren't expecting all the detail that you have to go with. But now to the business side of being at the athletic director's seat, this would have been a very huge weekend, sir. This was supposed to have been Labor Day Classic. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So with that being transitioned towards spring, you can't do anything about it because it is what it is. And when you're talking about getting regrouped and there is an opportunity for the one non-conference game, and I got to give you a spoiler alert. We spoke with Quentin Morgan of the Langston Lions, who made it known that there was some potential negotiations between potential Prairie View Langston game? Is there any truth to that, sir?
I will say this: I haven't gotten a chance to speak with the Langston athletic director.
Okay.
I know that we are working on our conference schedule, and there is an open date that we have the ability to fill, but nothing further at this time.
Okay, very good. That's fair enough. But because he was feeling real good, I had to jump out of character for a minute, Doc, and defend the honor of my beloved Panthers, because he talking about they take on any HBCU in the nation. And then I said, had you extended that to my beloved Panthers? He said, we trying to talk to them right now. I said, okay, I just want to make sure. So you're working on that, and you'll let us know once everything is solidified, correct?
We will release our schedule as soon as we get it finalized, and all of our sports schedules as well that will be competing in the spring. We'll begin to share that information.
Okay, very good. Once again, we're talking with Dr. Donald Reed, Athletic Director for the Prairie View A&M University Panthers, came from the University of Buffalo, and we know that the budgets are like night and day. Besides the budgets of comparison, what is it that you're seeing that would be an instant help for PV Nation and the athletic department that you could bring from University of Buffalo?
One of the things that we're embarking upon is looking at our budget as far as structure and those kinds of things. That's very, very comparable to what we are doing here at Prairie View. So there's a lot more similarities than dissimilarities with regard to budget. We're always looking for ways in any department to generate revenue and continue to contain our expenses as best we can. This is an anomaly in that we're dealing with the coronavirus and the scheduling changes and the inability to have those guaranteed football games and even having football in the fall. So all of those things you have to account for in this unique situation. So we're looking at budgets and all of the different operations that we have and making sure that we're being as efficient and as effectively as we can be in order to, again, deliver a great experience for our student athletes that we are charged with providing that experience and also an education. So all of those things on a daily basis, we're talking with our staff about, as well as our coaches.
Yes, sir. Now, I guess one of the most challenging parts would really to be assess your coaches doing what they were hired for, to coach. So how do you even go about trying to make sense out of that? Or do you even not have what they call like your evaluation process, or you just kind of give everybody a mulligan and you move forward?
As far as coaches?
Yes, you know how you do your
Okay.
end of your year reviews?
Yes. Well, the timing was such that that window had closed for me with my onboarding. However, we have ongoing conversations with our coaches. The evaluative period is one of those things that we always have a dialogue with coaches about. I do with regard to the expectations of all of us from a programming standpoint and how we can work together to achieve our goals. So our coaches are very committed individuals to the plan that we have for our student athletes, and they've been very open and very supportive of what we shared, myself and the coaches, with regard to what our vision is for our programs. And all is going very well in that area. We have a great group of coaches who really are student-centered and student-first, student-athlete first, so that they are concerned about the total experience from being a quality student, a quality citizen, and a quality athlete. And all of the programs that we put together are designed to help develop those skills such that they can be successful not only in competition, but in the classroom and then in society. So we're all in alignment with that. And I'm very excited to continue to work with them and prepare, because we don't have any competitions coming anytime soon. So we're preparing to help our students make that transition back to some level of normalcy here soon.
Well, I would slightly object. There is a competition of the classrooms, and they'll still have to.
Oh,
hit those.
yes,
sir. And and with this opportunity, it would be, I'm at least looking from outside in, a great opportunity to kind of climb out of the APR challenges that are obvious there across, not just at Prairie, but across the gamut. And are there any special techniques, tips, or tools that you're trying to take advantage of this quote unquote downtime to get accelerated in that area?
Well, I would say this. The expectation at all times would be to perform at a high level academically. That whether we're in a downtime or we just played a good rival down south 290, you know who I'm talking about.
Yes, sir. No cursing on this show, man. This is a family show.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely. It's Sunday, and my grandmother would be very upset with me. But we are academic first operation with regard to when we approach our student athletes. That's why the A comes before the C. Competition is all around academics and athletics. So all of those things are emphasized on a daily basis. And that's at the outset of our conversation, I mentioned Mr. Wyrick and his staff in Athlete Academic Affairs. They are integral to what we do. And those student athletes that we're charged with providing a great experience are understanding and are committed to doing very well in the classroom. And that is always a point of emphasis. Our coaches are very supportive and assist us with continuing to motivate our students to become lifelong learners and in the immediacy committed to doing well in the classroom. And I love your word that you use, competing in the classroom, so they'll be able to compete in society once they graduate with a Prairie View and university degree.
Yes, sir. That is the big picture. Now we got the structure and the foundation set. As a former basketball player yourself, a competitor on the NCAA Division I platform, what do you consider? All the X's and the O's are lining up as far as the academia, the student experience. Is it about placing within the top 3, top 4, now that you might have 2 additional institutions coming with Bethune-Cookman and FAMU, or the championship element? And I know everybody wants to win championships, but you can't win championships all the time because of hidden parts that are not known to others that you have to deal with, such as lack of resources and everything. So what is that acceptability placing, if you would, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or whatever?
Well, we talk with our coaches. I talk with them on a monthly basis, and we talk about those 3 areas: academics, personal and social development of our student athletes, and competitive excellence. So those 3 areas we cover on a monthly basis as a group. And with regard to the metrics that we've established and that I talk quite a bit about, is being in the top third of the conference. So adding 2 teams, we'll start with a 12-team conference here soon. So that would mean the top 4. So you want to be in the top 4 or top third of the league, which gives you a chance of which to win a championship. And ultimately, the SWAC championship is the goal. And in order to be in that mix, you typically have to be, in essence, in that semifinal group. So, in essence, the final 4 of the group.
Okay.
So that's what our focus would be perennially competing for championships, and being in that semifinal final round every year. You are competing for championships.
Okay, and I know we're running short on time, but just for clarity, top 4 of the conference and not the division, right? Or is it
correct? So it's top 4 in the conference of 12. So 6 and 6 as far as the division goes. However, that overall ranking would be, it would be in that top third. So the top 4 teams out of all 12.
Okay, so you got to either be first place or second place within your division. Anything else is considered non-acceptable.
Well, that would be the level that we want to perennially be at. There are always anomalies depending on what's going on, so it's not a hard and fast line. But those are the aspirant levels that we want to be at during our competitive conference seasons. That is the threshold that we want to operate at on a regular basis. Excuse me.
Oh, no problem at all. Well, look, I got some clarity now, and once again, we want to thank you so much for making yourself available with us. I hope you enjoy the time off and this extended holiday. Too bad you couldn't get a chance to witness that thing. It would have been the year for the Panthers being at home, but who knows? Everything work out. We'll get a chance to host them jokers in the springtime.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're looking forward to it, and looking forward to seeing everyone, as many as we can attract to the Hill to support these wonderful student athletes that we have.
All right, sir. I'm going to give you some closing thoughts and comments, and the floor is now yours.
Well, I just, again, want to thank everyone for their support. Thank you, sir, Mr. Prince, for your support. I am very proud to be your director of athletics, and I would love to get a chance to see everyone as soon as we possibly can, and I want people to be safe and mask up and continue to support our Panthers.
All right. There it was, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it straight from the throne himself of Dr. Donald Reed, athletic director for the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. We thank him so much for making himself available on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union hotline. We got to take a break right now. We're going to get lined up for brother khadarel Hodge, former PV standout, now Cleveland Browns wide receiver. You're listening to the Mike Prince Show live right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Keep it right where you got it, and we'll be right back.
Serving the community through faith and athletics. The Open Mic Broadcast Network.
It's the Open Mic with Dr. Mike. The Open Radio and the Mike Prince Show. The Open Mic Broadcast Network. The Open Mic Broadcast Network.
At 17 cents a day, you can make a huge impact on our local and regional high school and college student athletic coverage. We provide talk shows, live game coverage, and much, much more. But we need your support to move forward. Visit our website today at obnradio.com. Click on the PayPal button, which is safe and secure, and become a listening partner today. At 17 cents a day, you can make a huge impact. 17 cents a day comes out to $60 a year. Will you become part of the Open Mic Broadcast Network team? Visit that website at obnradio.com and become a listening partner today. Serving the
Your education, your health care, your community, your future. Your vote counts for many things. Take control. Get registered. Get educated. Get out and vote. Learn more at www.vote411.org. This is a public service announcement from Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Attention all coaches. Whatever your sport is, we want to tell your story. Dial our 24 hours, 7 days a week message line at 713-570-6736. Leave your game results, team results, and player results on our 24-hour message line, 713-570-6736. Have sports, we'll travel. The Open Mic Broadcast Network, serving the community through faith and athletics, the voice of student athletics. It's the radio guy, Mike Prince. Welcome back to the Mike Prince Show Live. We want to thank Athletic Director of the Prairie A&M University Panthers, Dr. Donald Reed, joined us, broke down some things and the expectations. Football has been delayed on the collegiate level, but guess what? It's full steam ahead as far as the NFL is concerned. Our next guest to come in with us on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline is former PV standout. I guess he will always be considered a PV standout. He's moving on now, but he's doing his thing and he's holding it down. I wanted to wait till we got it on. I got a little birdie that told us this man been really taking care of business, not only making his mom proud, his family proud, but the PV family proud. I'll present to some and introduce to others, none other than Brother khadarel Hodge. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing great, my man. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. They tell me that you have become the Incredible Hulk, man. You've become in beast mode all of a sudden in Cleveland. What's going on?
Oh man, I put in the work, man. In the off season, I dedicated myself. I made a lot of sacrifices, whether it's my diet or my other off the field habits, and I put it behind me. I've really grown a lot as a man, mentally and physically, and it's translated to my field play, man. And the work I put in, the attention I paid to the fundamentals of the game, the film breakdown, everything is working out for me, and I plan to keep my foot on their neck.
Yes, sir. Well, you keep putting your foot on the neck, and the reports that we've been getting, and a lot of people like to name drop on who they know and how they know. But when you know that you know, and they say the truth is going to always be the truth no matter where it comes from, right? But the word has been consistent when they hear khadarel Hodge. They went to how do you say your name to now they know how to enunciate your name and even spell it, which is the sign of respect. And the one thing that we're getting is that your teammates respect you, not for just being a receiver, is what you bring to the special teams unit. It's the work ethic that you have, and it's that no-nonsense approach to handling your business, man. And when did you realize, I remember we talked and you said, you know what, this is business. When did you realize that I got to get in where I fit in or I'm going to be going home?
It really hit me last year, man, when I was on the Rams, and man, I felt like, you know what I'm saying, I felt like I had a good camp and a good preseason. I led all receivers in yards, and I basically led the special teams tackles as well, but I still ended up on the short end of the stick. And then at that point, I'm like, this is more than just how you perform. It's a business and who they want. And ever since then, man, I put in my head that I'd never even put myself in that situation where I'd be on the bottom of the roster worrying about cut days again. So that was like the worst feeling ever, was being like, I'm almost going back home. Like I could be back home with my family right now, and just thinking about how they looking at me, like asking the questions, like what happened. Like I don't want to be that person to have to answer those questions right now while my career is so young. So I really dedicated myself. Like I could really say that, and I put in like the work. I'm talking about off season, man. I put in so much work, and I refuse, like I absolutely refuse to go back home. And that's my mentality with everything.
Yes, sir. We're talking right now with khadarel Hodge. Has been, can I let the cat out the bag, sir? Is it all right if I let the cat out the bag?
Yeah, do your thing.
He said, do my thing. He has been slotted the number 3 receiver on the Cleveland Browns. Now, y'all saying number 3 receiver, ladies and gentlemen, we talking about Beckham and Landry. This brother is number 3 in the slot. And I ain't ashamed to say I'm shooting for number 2 or 1 if they keep giving me enough opportunities, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm shooting for the top. I'm not gonna get complacent with anything. No matter who's on the roster, who I'm going against, I feel like I'm the best in any situation, and that's gonna be my mindset throughout my career.
Okay, now look, let's keep it 100 just for a moment here. Your your rookie year, you go to the Super Bowl. You're in the Super Bowl, and man, I went from a walk-on free agent to special team success, a few key catches throughout the season. I'm playing in the Super Bowl, and now I'm being let go, and I'm with Cleveland. How quick did you have to get over that and still realize you were still blessed?
Man, the whole thing, whether going to the Super Bowl, even me just getting picked up and living my dream it was a blessing, man. I wake up every morning and I thank the man above, because every day is a blessing. Regardless of where I'm at, I'm still getting to do what I love to do. Like, I can go to work in shorts if I want to. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to wear a suit or whatever. I just go up and show up. So I consider it as a blessing, man. No matter where I'm at, whether I'm in Cleveland or LA. Of course, the Super Bowl was a dream. I wish we could have won that, and LA was a great place to be as well. But I'm in Cleveland now, and that's where I feel like I need to be and what's best for me. Like, they accept me as a player and as a person on and off the field, and everything's been going good for me, man. The coaches are positive. They believe in me. I believe in myself. I believe in them. It's like everything is going good here. So I consider Cleveland as a blessing, and I want to be here as long as I can.
Yes, sir. And look, as they say, don't get complacent. But how do you deal with that cold Cleveland weather, man?
Oh, man, I'm not going to lie to you. I am a Southern man. I'm going to say that. I'm a Southern man, and when I first felt that breeze, that was real tough.
You thought you could take you a cold day, huh? No, we're gonna practice today.
Oh.
No, son, you got to get on out here and get it done.
Exactly. In Mississippi, we get a little ice on the ground. They shutting down the schools. Everything. Man, it was snow all over the roads, man. They still going like nothing happened. I'm like, bruh.
Yeah, buddy. Say, welcome to the real world, right?
Man, that was a rude awakening. I can say that.
Now, when you change, but when you change different areas and locations, each region is known for a unique or an exotic food. Have you discovered that unique food up in the Ohio area?
I'm still trying to figure things out. Like, I like to eat and go to different places. So I actually just had like some seafood a minute ago. It was pretty good, but I don't think they're really known for seafood as much. And I haven't found like their best dish yet, actually. I keep asking around, and some people say like we got good barbecue, but I'm like, no, y'all don't. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, don't get run out of there now. Don't get run out of there, brother.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know how we cook in the South, and then they try to say they got good food. I'm like, well, y'all need to come on down a little bit and find out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I've been to a couple good places so far. Some people, I've been to a couple good steakhouses and a couple good seafood spots.
Okay. Now, very good. Once again, we're talking with khadarel Hodge of the Cleveland Browns. I'm pretty sure that you keep up with SWAC news, and you may have heard the latest about Alcorn now being transitioned over to the Western Division with the addition of Bethune-Cookman and FAMU coming to be on board in 2021. How do you see that and line that up?
Oh, I'm kind of glad that happened. That makes it more competitive, man, because Alcorn was kind of just coasting through that thing for like the past 5-6 years, and it was like no competition. But we got as SWAC, like the people who've been in the SWAC, we really got to show Bethune and then how things ran, how things go. Bethune and FAMU, it's FAMU, right?
Yes, sir. FAMU.
Yeah,
Your
definitely,
old coach. Your old
I was
coach.
about to say, definitely give it to Coach Simmons for sure.
Okay. Now look,
So,
we can't have Coach Simmons, FAMU, or Bethune-Cookman for that matter coming in their first couple of seasons, man, winning the East though. That won't be acceptable, will it?
not acceptable at all. And I know he's coming with some fire though. They got a pretty good team over there, but we gotta put it together and welcome them to the SWAC for sure. You can't let them come in and take over like that.
Okay, now look, I'm gonna put a little pressure on you in the NFL right now, so it's not gonna matter, right? And it don't have anything to do with Prairie View. Who do you see be the greatest team of competition if you've been able to keep a pace with the SWAC from the East against Bethune and FAM?
I be wanting to say Jackson State, but they be so on and off. The Alabama, was it? It was. I think it was Alabama A&M. They had a pretty good team, but then Alcorn always smashed them when they match up. So it'd be like kind of waste of time. But I would want to pull for Jackson State right now.
Okay, now we know your former athletic director, Ashley Robinson's over there. They just fired their head coach, Coach Hendrick. Now there's been a lot of buzz about Deion Sanders possibly being the replacement coach for Hendrick. How do you see that potentially working out?
Man, I heard about that as well. That would be a dream come true for SWAC, man, because that'll be exactly what we needed. We could start getting a lot of bigger, like 5- and 3-star athletes to the SWAC, and that's what we need. That media and that just to get more recruits in the SWAC. I mean, we're getting noticed more right now, but we get that big name coach and Deion start bringing in more athletes, man, and people will start coming to the SWAC more instead of looking at it as a last option.
Okay.
Like, that's how I was. I came out looking at SWAC as the last option because I didn't really know anything about it. So I think him being the head coach there would attract better athletes.
Okay. Now, and also with guys who are like yourself, who get the opportunity and maximize those opportunities, and they begin to let folks realize, you know what, there are more guys like him. We need to pay a little bit more attention. So I understand the marketing part, but also the execution part once given the opportunity. So that can be very well noted. We're speaking with Khadarel Hodge of the Cleveland Browns, former Prairie View A&M University Panther wide receiver standout, now toward the NFL. We kind of joked about it. You grew up a Steelers fan, but now your paycheck says Cleveland Browns. And I told you, look, man, I want you to do your thing. I want you to really do your thing when you get up. But man, and you know what? You could have 8 receptions for 260 yards and 3 touchdowns, as long as you lose by 1 to my Steelers. I'd be all right with that.
That would be the worst. Well, I can't complain about that. I'd be mad as a competitor, but I'd be glad as at least I got off at the same time. But we gotta put the Steelers down. We trying to take over the division. Sure.
I do understand. It's I know it's a different world when it talks to the money available for the NFL and this COVID that we've been dealing with. Without going into too much detail, how stringent are the testing with you guys, and how much lockdown that they're having to make sure that everyone stays safe?
Man, we're basically in a big bubble ourselves, man. Like, it's a lot of players, but they limit the places we could go as far as, like, being out of facilities, grocery stores, clubs. You can't go to clubs or whatnot. You know, we try to stay away from as many crowds as you can. And with the testing thing, we get swabbed every morning and whatnot with the little nose swab. And you got to get that before you go in the building. It's a 24-hour thing, so you get tested every day. And they did a good job as far as, like, spreading us out the meeting rooms. And they got us all over the place, man, in the building. So we gotta wear our mask on the field, off the field. They got these little things, these little monitor things where you gotta keep yourself 6 feet apart, and it tells you how long you've been to the next person for within 6 feet. If you've been within 6 feet of that person for so long, then you could actually get fined if you don't obey the rules, basically. So you got to pay close attention to that. So it can get on your nerves at times because it's not the norm, but I think they're doing a good job with it.
Okay, so if I'm understanding you correctly, khadarel, you have to wear the mask while you're actually competing on the field?
Yeah, we have our they have little masks made for us as while we're on the field. And when you come while you're playing, you don't have to have it on, but once you come back to the sideline and you're talking and just trying to rest up, they would want you to put the mask back on.
Okay, now do you keep it on your person like some quarterbacks and receivers have the little pockets on the front of their jersey, or is it something on the sideline that you get once you come from the player field to the sideline, or do you keep it on you? How does that work?
We could actually do you know those little cold things? When they get cold and we have those little face masks on.
Uh-huh.
The little black. That's exactly like what the masks are when we're on the field. So they're not as thick and you can breathe through them, but that's what they are. So we can keep them, we can pull them down and have them around our neck while we're playing and then pull them back up as we get to the sideline.
Okay, very good, very good. So the safety is definitely in the air. Kickoff will be here before you know it. And it's the dawn of a new season. This will be season number 3 for you, correct?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Man, you're getting old, brother.
That's a good thing there. I need to get as many years as I can.
Okay. Well, look, man, I really and truly thank you for joining in with us tonight. And as we do customarily here, we're going to give you a moment to have some shout outs to PV Nation and everybody listening.
Oh, yeah, man. Shout out to PV Nation for sure, man. I'm always with y'all. I hope y'all are always with me. I'm going to try to do the best I can through every situation. And hopefully we can get more athletes to our school so we can continue to try to change this football program around. It seems like everybody's winning a championship with us. So I think it's time for that. So shout out to PV Nation, man, and those guys that are trying to get drafted as well, man. I pray y'all have a great season in the spring and go crazy.
All right, go crazy. PV.
All
right, he is khadarel Hodge, wide receiver with the Cleveland Browns, with us on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline. We do thank him so much for joining the epitome of hard work. And there's an old saying, hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard. This young man has proven, if given the opportunity, dreams can and do come true. But you got to know when you got it, recognize it, and make the most of it. We're going to take us a quick break, and we'll come back, believe it or not, with our closing segment of tonight's episode of The Mike Prince Show. You keep it right where you got it, and we'll be right back.
Have sports, we'll travel. The Open Mic Broadcast Network serving student athletes from Little League, high school, and collegiate coverage right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. From coast to coast, from dusk till dawn. You can catch all student athletic action right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the station designed with you in mind. Serving the community through faith and athletics, the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the voice of student athletics.
Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union has 13 different locations to better serve you. Locations in Rosenberg, Missouri City, Katy, College Station, Bryan, Brenham, and Waller, Texas. For more information, you can contact them on their toll-free number, 855-391-2149. Or you can send an email to information@bvscu.org.
Attention all coaches. Whatever your sport is, we want to tell your story. Dial our 24 hours, 7 days a week message line at 713-570-6736. Leave your game results, team results, and player results on our 24-hour message line, 713-570-6736. Have sports, we'll travel. The Open Mic Broadcast Network, serving the community through faith and athletics, the voice of student athletics.
Come on. Laptops, MP3 players, cameras, video games, cell phones. In times like these, schools can become a shopping mall for thieves. Don't become a victim of crime. Leave your valuable stuff at home, and if you do have to bring them to school, keep them with you. Write down their serial numbers, and don't flash expensive items around. Be smart. If you have something cool, there's a good chance someone else will want it too. Keep cash and ATM cards in a secure place, and never give anyone your PIN number. And don't leave your school bag lying around where it can become a temptation to someone else. If you have something stolen, report the situation immediately. The sooner you tell someone, the better the chance you'll get it back. Visit ncpc.org to learn more about how to prevent school theft. That's ncpc.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
It's the radio guy, Mike Prince. Welcome back to our final segment of tonight's episode. We have some sad news to share, indirectly affecting Major League Baseball and Southern University. Hall of Famer Lou Brock has just transitioned, reports are saying. He had a long battle with diabetes. Outstanding ball player, of course, started out with the Chicago Cubs, then traded to the St. Louis Cardinals. Prolific baseball player, base stealer, and it all started for him at Southern University. And it is just a down moment right now in the world of athletics. Whether you knew about Southern at that time, you knew about Lou Brock, and you knew that this was a man of pure competitiveness, an excellent soul, spirit. I had the luxuries of watching Brock in many occasions growing up in St. Louis, Missouri, and a chance to meet him on more than one occasion. And it's just it's a sad time right now, a sad time. And we wish the Brock family well. We wish Southern Nation well. And every so often, you get a player to come through and just wreak havoc in everything that he did. He could run, throw, hit. He did it all. Smart ball player. And he is now resting in paradise. And we once again wish the family well. Well, we have had an opportunity to get some things explained to us and broken down. And now it's time for us to make our exit towards stage left. I got tongue-tied there just a moment. We do want to thank our guest on today's episode, Athletic Director for the Prairie View A&M University Panthers, Dr. Donald Reed. Wide receiver with the NFL's Cleveland Browns, khadarel Hodge. Want to thank you for joining in with us, and don't forget, our daily endeavor is to bring you news that you can use. Our social media handles are Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter are all at The Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is Open Mic Broadcast Network. The website, obnradio.com. And our 24-hour dial-in message line, 713-570-6736. I've got to go. My time has been well spent. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince, and as always, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.